the UK, Ambassador Okilawa, the Defense Advisor, Major General Ogidi, Ambassador Femi George, the Special Advisor to the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, distinguished ambassadors and heads of mission of Nigeria and Europe. You will recall, Your Excellencies, that a few weeks ago, Mr. President, in furtherance of the transformation agenda and our Vision 2020, signed performance contract with individual members of the Federal Executive Council. It is in the same spirit that the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs is signing today with our heads of mission in Europe. I understand he has done so with heads of mission in the Americas.
Femi George from headquarters.
Maria Lausche from Austria here.
Bukola Tidoye from Istanbul. Eddie Onoa, Hungary.
Nimota from Netherlands. Ita of Bristol, Portugal.
Harold Coco, Belgrade, Serbia.
Felix Paul, Dublin, Ireland.
Samuel Jimba, Poland.
Abakijani, Bucharest, Romania.
Masar, Russia.
Fidelia and Jeze, Switzerland.
Dan Hamovi, Stockholm, Sweden.
Mohammed Abdulhamid Malamodo, Turkey.
Frank Issa, Kiev, Ukraine.
Thank you very much.
It's my honor and privilege to invite the High Commissioner, Dr. Daratus Kitafida, to make his welcome remarks. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, including members of the press, it is my honor and privilege to be requested to say a few words about what we are going to do and a word of welcome. First of all, I feel highly honored for London to be chosen to be the center for this exercise, which I believe is a better position for us. Secondly, Your Excellency, the work or the assignment we're about to do is an assignment that I think Nigeria deserves it. It is based on transformation agenda that the government of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan came to be. Because of that, the government has been doing everything possible to anchor its own promises, and this is one of them. It is not usual for foreign ambassadors, for foreign missions, heads of foreign missions, or even ministers to sign a performance contract with the head of state or any other person. What we were used to, we, the old bosses, well, in those good old days, the service was groomed and everybody knew his work, and you can be sure if you provide the resources, the work will be done at the end of the year. You would only go and inspect what you expect to see, and you will see them there. But this one being an innovation of a government, a progressive government, I think we should commend the President for bringing it into being. However, being a good and well-intentioned idea, you know, in Nigeria, sometimes you have ideas, once a new government comes, it throws it away. I would like to recommend that this contract performance ceremony and all it entails should be enshrined into our statute book, which means the National Assembly should be informed in order that it becomes a law of the land, so that it will be difficult for any government to throw it away when it comes into being. In his responsibility to a minister, if he does not have serious-minded officers, the same way in missions, ambassadors can fail if the officers with him are not really determined to bring in their best to bear in what they are supposed to do. I therefore also recommend that the civil service should go along with this to also be reformed so that we can have good value for money. Finally, Your Excellency, once more, I welcome you to London, where it used to be home. I also welcome my colleagues, ambassadors from over Europe, and other distinguished ladies and gentlemen who are here today. Thank you very much.
Ambassador Ruben Ashiro to give his address. Your Excellency.
What we're about to do, as you all know, is part of the transformation agenda of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. It's his own idea. It's not our own idea. But once it's been put in place, we have the duty to make sure we now execute it and put it as part of our program. The High Commissioner already made reference in his own statement to it that it's something that should be done. It's true. I have signed with the President. There are certain things I've promised that I must deliver. But in delivering those deliverables, I can't do it by myself alone. We all have to do it together. All ambassadors abroad, all directors in headquarters. So that was why the first thing we did was to sign and perform the first ceremony in headquarters, signing with the Cabinet Secretary and the directors because they also have duties and roles to play. The next stage is now with all the ambassadors abroad, because as you all know, you are the window to Nigeria. You are the first point of call to Nigeria. And you are all aware of what we've been through in the past when there were certain criticisms that when Nigerians visit our embassies abroad, they don't get due courtesies, you know, that there are times that the missions don't assist. And part of what we are trying to do today, and what we've been doing since this administration, is to put that as past, and to ensure that our embassies abroad are now more open to Nigerians, either those living there or those passing through. And we've already made the point, you will recall during your induction course, that you should open your doors to all Nigerians. You should be able to assist them. Where it's difficult, you try your best, at least so that you are seen to have tried. So I believe all ambassadors should really be up and doing. We should now try and imbibe the new spirit, the new transformation agenda of the government, so that Nigerians themselves can feel the transformation. They can see a difference. I've seen it in some of the missions I've been to. I was there some weeks ago, and I went through the process of Nigerians who are waiting to be issued passports, foreigners who are waiting to be issued visas, and I spoke to them, and they expressed satisfaction that the system is working well, and that they don't have to wait unduly. I think that's what we should continue to do. The issue of training is taken very seriously now in headquarters, and our plan is that all officers will have to go through training. We have recently introduced the Senior Diplomatic Management course for the directorate level. We've done course 1. Course 2 will be done before the end of the year. And if you don't go through that course, you will not be able to be considered for anything. You must go through that pass. There's an exam at the end of the course. So those who did the course 1 went through it, and I was told it was rigorous, but that they enjoyed and learned a lot from it. So these are part of the things we have now instituted in service. Not only that, you have the 36.1 training course, which we do for at least our middle level officers, where we send them abroad, and we attach them in various institutions and universities where they go on various courses. Some are on language courses all over the place. So we need to do the training, because as part of what we said, the legacy we can leave behind is a professional foreign service. And I have made the point that, from my experience, Nigerian diplomats have been able to stand on their own. They've been able to perform very well. And you see them at their best at the multilateral post, where they are competing with diplomats from other countries, from France, from Germany, from UK, from the US, that are also equally well trained. I had the privilege of signing performance contracts with the permanent secretary and directors of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja. On that occasion, I set out the primary objectives of this exercise, coming on the heels of the contract which I signed with President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR on 22nd of August this year. We have started the process of signing the performance contracts with heads of Nigerian missions abroad, with the ceremony that took place in New York on Tuesday, 2nd October 2012. We intend to continue the exercise until we cover all Nigerian missions abroad where the ambassadors will have to sign contracts. Among other things, the performance contract system, an innovative management practice, is intended to foster accountability in service delivery and promote cost effectiveness in the conduct of government business in Nigeria and abroad. Under the program, public servants are expected to be better focused on the discharge of assigned tasks with specific targets and timelines that can be regularly evaluated and measured against overall government policies and objectives. For us in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it is no longer the case to argue that our outputs are intangible and therefore hardly susceptible to performance evaluation and measurement. To change this norm, and in tandem with the vision of Mr. President, we have sought to deploy foreign policy as an instrument of economic development in a manner that facilitates job and wealth creation for the Nigerian people, while contributing to poverty alleviation across the country. 2, promoting Nigeria's economic interests abroad. 3, improving the profile and image of Nigeria abroad. 4, enhancing Nigeria's representation and visibility in international organizations. 5, enhancing Nigeria's leadership role in Africa, starting with the West African sub-region. And 6, promoting global peace and security. 7, promoting a just world economic order. These objectives have been further broken down into specifics of deliverables and outcomes in a manner that holds every mission accountable for the performance of its duties and responsibilities. Besides this template, however, we in the ministry designed another set of templates that is unique to the mission abroad and to the ministry. And this is intended to complement the work of the National Planning Commission in this regard. Performance contracts with me in line with the new policy and practice of the federal government of Nigeria. I thank you all for your attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
There's no
OFR, CFR. He's signing his performance contract with the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs for service delivery to the Nigerian people.
Well, Your Excellency, Ambassador Tafida, today we have signed this contract, and I wish you well as we go about to perform and deliver on what we have signed today. Ambassador Maduri, we've signed this contract together today, and I wish you success in executing and delivering on this contract we have signed today. Thank you. We this contract together today, and I wish you success as you go about delivering on this contract, and wish you all the best. Excellency, Ambassador Ngeze, we have signed this contract together today, so I wish you well and pray for your success as you continue to now go back to your post and deliver on this delivery. We have just signed this performance contract today, so I wish you well as you go about executing on this contract.
First, I nominate the list. On the list of ambassadors who are able to make it here is Ambassador A. Olakidere, our representative in Istanbul, 58.
All right, everyone.
Can you raise your card, please?
Ready, everyone, please. Yeah, lovely. One more, please.
There is no political education of Nigerians abroad in regards to their voting rights subsequently in the near future. What do you think about this?
You know that President Goodluck Jonathan has already spoken a lot on this matter. In fact, I know that in nearly all the trips he has made, this matter was always prominently raised by the Nigerians in the diaspora. And he has said that he has already directed INEC to try and see how Nigerians overseas could vote in the 2015 election. That was what the president said. So I believe it is for INEC to work out the modalities. But I believe that as a first step, we must start what we are already has our missions to do, the registration of Nigerians first. You know, you must be properly registered first before you can then come to the next stage of being issued with voters' identification cards.
Can INEC achieve this without collaborating with Foreign Affairs Ministry?
No, we have to do it together, especially with the registration, because we are trying to do a data of Nigerians abroad, so that data now will be turned over to INEC for them to use. Already, I know that in missions such as in Washington, New York, they've even started online registration, whereby you don't need to even come to the embassy before you can do your own online registration. But the importance of registrar for all Nigerians abroad is very, very important. And that will be a first step if they are going to partake in the 2015 elections. What we have done is that you were there, maybe you've had early in the year. What we did is that we now organize training courses for all our officers going abroad, from ambassador downwards. We did the one for ambassadors in March this year. Not only for the ambassadors, even for their spouses, because we wanted the spouses to know what is expected of them. We didn't want the wife of an ambassador to arrive at the post and she would not know what to do. She would not know how to interact with other wives as to bring value to Nigeria. All this, we have trained them because we brought in other wives to discuss and to interact with them. So all this we have done, and we will continue the training of the younger ones. The middle-level officers too have been trained, because we believe that by training, we'll be able to get the best out of our diplomats and be able to perform more to the expectations of the Nigerian public. The Nigerians who are in jail sentences here could come back home to complete their term, you know. But of course, it will have to be with the consent of the affected convicts, you know. But at the same time, it's built in there that there should be assistance in terms of capacity building. You know, if in form of grant to assist to build prisons in Nigeria, why not? You know, so that of course our prisons too could be of international standard. So that because one of the attractions is that those in prison say feel that the conditions in the prisons here are better than the ones they would meet in Nigeria. So I think these are just the human elements. And of course, there are some who are in prison here and would not want their friends and families back in Nigeria to know that they're in prison. So they will not opt to come back to Nigeria. Thank you.